Greetings, friends. Welcome to today's video, where we will tackle the issue of overcommitment by mastering the power of saying no, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. In our fast-paced, modern world, many of us grapple with taking on too many tasks, obligations, and responsibilities. We often overcommit our time and energy, driven by societal pressures, fear of missing out, or an inability to set boundaries. This can lead to significant stress, burnout, and a diminished quality of life. The ancient Stoics, great thinkers from Greece and Rome, had profound insights on this topic that remain relevant today. They emphasized focusing only on what is within our control, living with virtue and integrity, and cultivating self-discipline. In this video, we will delve into valuable Stoic strategies to help you escape the shackles of overcommitment. You will learn how to prioritize your obligations, align them with your core values, and confidently say no to excessive demands on your time and energy. We will draw wisdom from Stoic masters like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius on distinguishing the essential from the non-essential. Their teachings will guide us toward living with greater intention, balance, and peace of mind. Stay with us as we embark on this journey of Stoic self-empowerment. Even if the concepts seem challenging at first, I'm confident that their simplicity and practicality will become evident through relatable examples. By the end of this video, you will possess powerful mental tools to reclaim your time, energy, and autonomy. Let's begin. 157. To overcome something, we must first understand it. Let's start by examining what overcommitment looks like in our daily lives. Overcommitment refers to taking on more tasks, obligations, and responsibilities than one can reasonably manage within their available time and resources. It's when our plates become too full, leaving us spread thin and struggling to give our best in any area of life. The signs are often clear: a constant feeling of being rushed, overwhelmed, or behind schedule, neglecting self-care activities like exercise, quality sleep, and nutrition, strained relationships due to lack of presence, and ultimately, increased stress, anxiety, and burnout. The Stoics warned against this unsustainable state, advocating for living simply and within one's means. Seneca said, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" Just like practicing poverty for a few days reminded the Stoics of what truly mattered, being aware of overcommitment reminds us that we cannot keep piling on indefinitely without facing consequences. Our mental and physical health inevitably suffer. Yet, overcommitment persists as we chase an endless loop of productivity, people-pleasing, and the fear of missing opportunities. We commit to too many work projects, family obligations, social engagements, and personal development pursuits to have and do it all. But the Stoics would urge us to pause, go inward, and reflect with self-honesty on whether those outward commitments serve our highest good and values. Seneca cautioned, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." We can start making more conscious choices by understanding overcommitment as a detrimental state of being out of alignment and bondage to external forces. This awareness is the essential first step. The modern world moves relentlessly, constantly demanding our time and energy. We are inundated with opportunities for career advancement, social status, intellectual growth, and myriad other pursuits that seem important or even essential. The fear of missing out or falling behind can compel us to say yes to everything, piling commitment upon commitment. Yet the harsh reality is that we are merely human beings with finite resources. Our attention, energy, and willpower are limited, despite our ambitions or determination. When we overextend ourselves, something inevitably suffers. Our health may deteriorate due to poor dietary habits, lack of sleep and exercise, or our key relationships become strained due to constant distraction and absence. Our work performance may decline from rushing through tasks in an agitated state, or it may be our inner well-being that gets sacrificed as we have no time for solitude, contemplation, or simply being present. The Stoics recognized the folly of overindulgence in externals and commitments at the expense of our core selves. Epictetus admonished, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." By wanting and craving less from the external world, we free ourselves from the relentless striving and burden of overcommitment. Marcus Aurelius echoed this sentiment, writing, It is not so much what your circumstances are, as how you turn them to advantage. Rather than continually adding to our obligations, the Stoic path involves intentionally stepping back to curate our commitments. We reduce the overwhelm by only surrounding ourselves with what is essential and aligned with our principles. This creates the headspace to operate from a grounded center, fully present with the task or person before us, rather than mentally jumping between a fragmented multitude of duties. Moreover, the Stoics advocated living with contemptus mundi, a detached indifference to externals like wealth, fame, and social status. Returning from the frenzy of overcommitment, we realize that most compulsions stem from chasing these empty, impermanent pursuits. Instead, the Stoic way is one of simplicity, moderation, and reason. We strip away the inessentials to focus our limited time and energy on what truly matters according to our values and principles. This is the path to tranquility and inner freedom amidst the chaos and overstimulation of modern life. As we initiate this journey of overcoming overcommitment, the first critical step is cultivating lucid awareness around the issue and its root causes. Only when we understand overcommitment as detrimental can we start making mindful adjustments to live with greater intention and alignment. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy is distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. The ancient Stoics believed that much of human anxiety and suffering arises from worrying about or trying to control things that are ultimately out of our hands. As the Roman philosopher Seneca famously stated, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. We needlessly torment ourselves when we become preoccupied with hypothetical scenarios, external circumstances beyond our influence, or other people's behavior. How does this apply to the challenge of overcommitment? The Stoics would carefully evaluate which of our numerous commitments, tasks, and obligations truly fall under our reasoned choice and voluntary action. These are the only things we have complete control over. Workplace demands from an employer, family obligations to loved ones, prior promises made, many commitments can feel inescapable or forced upon us from the outside. But the Stoics remind us that our perception and response are still ours to control. We reduce overwhelm by separating the commitments we can realistically manage through our discipline and effort from those imposed by external forces. We reframe our perspective, focusing energy where it will move the needle, rather than struggling against what we cannot change. For example, while we may not control specific duties at work, we can control our mindset, efficiency in executing them, and ability to communicate boundaries. With loved ones, we cannot control their expectations, but we can guide conversations respecting mutual needs. The Stoic path does not question every commitment but distinguishes what we embrace by choice in alignment with our core values and principles. This discernment over what we actualize in reality, rather than agonize over ideals, leads to a liberated, empowered way of being. As Epictetus taught, the essence of philosophy is that of distinguishing what is yours from what isn't yours. Overcoming overcommitment begins by reclaiming ownership of what is ours to control. This dichotomy between what is up to us versus what is not forms the bedrock of Stoic thinking. The Stoics believed that while we cannot control external events, we can control our internal responses and judgments about them. Our minds act as the subjective lens through which we interpret the objective reality before us. Marcus Aurelius exemplified this perspective, writing, "The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it." Two people can face the same event, a work setback, family conflict, or any other external circumstance, yet their internal experience and ability to respond productively will differ based on their judgment of the situation. The person focused on factors outside their control, like a coworker's unfair criticism or a loved one's insensitive behavior, will be pulled into anxiety, anger, and victimhood. However, one who reorients toward their actions and mindset remains grounded in personal agency and wisdom. We free up immense mental and emotional bandwidth by relinquishing the compulsion to control the uncontrollable. We stop flailing against currents stronger than ourselves and instead focus that energy on adjusting our sails within the conditions before us. This is the path to overcoming overwhelm by overcommitment. Rather than lamenting all the tasks piled on our plates and burning out trying to do the impossible, we get honest about our sphere of influence, subtracting everything beyond the scope of the essential. This brings clarity. Epictetus urged, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." With discernment over our actual zone of control, we can prioritize accordingly. We uphold chosen commitments that align with our core virtues and values while making peace by letting go of the rest. Obligations to an employer are negotiable based on open dialogue around mutual interests. Promises to friends and family can be reevaluated against reasoned principles about what is genuinely healthy for those bonds. Even past